Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the BF, or otherwise known as the Battlefield E-Sports Roundup, Episode 6. I'm Dascro, and I'm joined by Brett. Brett, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Excited that we are finally on episode 6. Sorry, guys, for the extremely long delay. I know it's been like 3 weeks, but Dastro and myself have been extremely busy. But now we have some free time on our hands, and looking forward to resuming these episodes on a more frequent basis.
Yes, it's been an exciting 3 weeks for a number of reasons, and we're actually going to talk about the first reason. About 3 weeks ago, we had the big Electronic Entertainment Expo, also known as E3. We saw the first time in seeing Battlefield 4 multiplayer, and yours truly was actually at E3 and got to play some of that multiplayer. The footage that you're seeing right now is my footage that I was allowed to take during the multiplayer, and so this is sort of what it looks like. And while we have all seen a lot of this footage, be it from the multiplayer trailer or from other people's videos, I want to talk about a little bit about how BF4 may impact competitive play for Battlefield more generally. And so Brett and I, we're going to talk about these issues and at least some of the common ones that are routinely mentioned within the Battlefield 3 esports community. So Brett, what's the first one we got?
The first thing, and I think this is going to be true of just about any competitive player, they're going to be asking is, what about the suppression? They want to know, how is suppression going to be different than what it is now to BF4? Because we all know that the suppression effect, not only does it blur your vision, but it randomizes your shots so much that you could be point blank to a guy with a shotgun and miss every single time just because you're suppressed. And he may have an M60 because he's got 200 rounds. He'll be able to kill you and you won't be able to kill him, even though you may be the better player or you may have had the jump on him, but because of that suppression, he ended up getting screwed over by it.
Yes, and in Battlefield 4, suppression is a bit different. And take in mind, guys, this is just from my experiences in this pre-alpha build. It very well could change substantially. As we saw, suppression change quite a bit as subsequent patches did come forward for Battlefield 3. Suppression essentially works as follows. It's much more visual based now and audio based now. It doesn't create as much bullet deviation as you see in Battlefield 3, but suppression is now different based on what gun you're using. And so if you're using a recon gun, a sniper rifle if you will, you can cause suppression with one shot if you miss at long distances. The same is the case with the support class with the light machine guns. Light machine guns can very easily suppress enemy players at medium and long range distances. However, the assault class guns and the engineer class guns and carbines and PDWs, they really don't suppress that much. And in this respect, we now have sort of a different type of suppression system than what we saw in Battlefield 3. But take in mind, guys, it very well could change in the coming beta, perhaps, that may be up in the next few months. We'll see, but let's just stay tuned in the meantime, and we'll tell you what we find out as things occur. Moving on to the next one, let's talk about revive trains. Revive trains are something that has been an issue all the way dating back to Battlefield 2 when revives were first mentioned. Some of us remember the Bad Company 2 days where revive trains were just crazy incredible, especially with the invulnerability mechanics that were in some patches. In this, the DICE developers say that the revives are going to operate differently than in Battlefield 3. Now, we haven't seen any footage showing what this means, but it's going to be different. Brett, how do you think a different revive mechanic may do to the game?
Well, I mean, depending on how they change it up, if they kind of go back towards what BC2 was like in terms of just the time, because if you do know in BC2, when you res that first guy, you could not go right to the next one and res him. It was about a second to 2 seconds wait before you can get another res off. So they may be, extending that charge time, which will greatly, increase the chances of, if you actually make a big team push, that it's going to be successful, because those guys aren't going to be able to pull out those paddles, res 2 guys real quick, and then all of a sudden you're fighting 3 to 1 instead of 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, possibly with a guy laying on the ground. So they may be tweaking the recharge times, and they might be tweaking the actual health, depending on how much you actually get rezzed by. I know that in previous games that we have seen, where if you did get rezzed, you didn't get rezzed all the way up. You were a good example would be like PlanetSide. You can't get rezzed at full health. You're only rezzed at half health. That right there would be huge for stopping res trains, just because of the fact that the guy's not going to have that much health to live. I mean, you're going to be able to pump fewer bullets into the guy and have him go down. And I think the last thing, and this one I would, out of everything that I just mentioned, this is the one thing I want to see actually go, and that is the revive and vulnerability. I think that right there is the thing that killed. It's what's hurting the game the most. I think that if you took out the revive and vulnerability, it would make res trains a lot easier to stop, and it would be a lot harder to do that. It would actually take a lot of team coordination to do a successful res train, because not only would they have to res the guy, but they would have to either cover him while he's getting up and shoot the other guy, or the guy who is getting resed has to know exactly where to shoot right then and there before he gets popped again. I think those are going to be huge.
I definitely agree with that. One of the other big changes that I noticed is the changes in the classes themselves. So for those that don't know already, here's the recap. 1. The support class no longer has a C4. That is now given to the recon class. The support class instead has some additional weapons that they can use, including an XM25, which is essentially a small, portable, semi-automatic grenade launcher. It's not a big grenade launcher like an M320 grenade launcher. It shoots little grenades, and it's more of a clearing out guys that are camping sort of weapon, as opposed to something that you could run and gun like you would, let's say, with a grenade launcher in the game Quake. In addition to that, you also have a different setup in terms of ammunition. Ammunition across all the classes has been significantly reduced, and because of the perks system that we'll talk about later, no one guy can really go through battle and still have a bunch of ammunition to spare. It requires now a support guy to be in your squad, or else you run out of ammunition really quickly. And one of the things that's in that was in this closed alpha was that when you grab someone else's kit, the primary ammunition was all gone. This is secondary ammunition. Now, there are reports that are saying this is just a glitch. We'll see in the end if they leave it in or not. But it makes the support class a lot more important. And then finally, engineer class about the same, assault class about the same. Engineer or recon class also now has recon balls going back to the BC2 days, and they're super effective. You can throw them long distances, and they operate just like in BC2. You go on your mini-map, and they show all the guys that are in a given area, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and one thing I would like to mention back on the support class, because people are, I know a lot of the guys who actually came up in BF3 who were not previous, to BF2 at 2142 or even 1942, they're not going to like the fact that the ammo is going to be so short. But remember, guys, the support class will have access to the carbines now. So they're not just going to be stuck with the LMGs. They're actually going to be able to use the carbines, because they will be an all-kit weapon. Am I right?
That is correct.
That is right. So, it's going to open up a lot of you're going to see a lot more classes being used in BF4, even in the smaller 5s and 6s. Because of this change, because they're going to be able to use weapons that are going to be more suited towards those close quarters type fights that you're going to see a lot of infantry battles coming in. You're going to see the recon being used, especially if he has access to those carbines, because those motion sensors, they're going to be huge. That is going to be a game changer. If any of you guys played BC2, you know this for a fact. The reason why recon was used so much was because he was able to be mobile, and he could get all the intel that he needed out of an area before he actually went into it. So that's going to be very, very awesome to see. And then also, some more stuff. What about audio cues? What audio cues? We were going to be talking about the perk system, right?
We are, but let's talk about audio cues real quick. Audio cues, for those that do know in Battlefield 3, if you throw a grenade at someone, they will then yell, "Oh no, a grenade, I gotta get out of here." And so you can use that audio cue to know if someone's there or not. That at least from what I was able to experience, doesn't exist within the closed alpha I experienced at E3. And so some people have been mentioning that for a while. That needs to be removed. It seems like it's removed, so that's pretty neat. Let's talk about the perk system real quick. Now, in Battlefield 3, you get a squad perk, and then you and your squad mates all share various perks together, and you get it off the bat. The perk system BF4 is substantially different, and it's going to change the way that you play the game and change the way everyone else plays the game for that matter. In this respect, you choose either an offensive or a defensive class of perks. And as you progress through the game, by doing squad-related activities, you will gradually rank up the perks until you will then be able to unlock one perk. As an example, unlock speed perk or unlock ammo perk. And as you continue to give your squad orders, as you continue to give them health or ammo or take commander orders, you will be able to progress that ranking system until you can unlock all 4 perks and have all of them there. But here's the thing, guys. If you get wiped, if your squad gets wiped, you lose all the perks. You lose them all. And so there's a tremendous incentive to play a little bit more conservatively, to stay alive, to get revives, and to also assist your teammates. Because aggressive squads that end up getting wiped, they lose all their perks, and now they're at a disadvantage. And so it requires a little bit more tactical teamwork, if you will, in order to actually get the objective. And further, you can't just get a bunch of kills to unlock this stuff and to rank it up. And so if you get 10 kills, you're not going to get that much closer to the next perk. But if you give 5 revives or squad revives or give ammunition or defend an objective, then you do rank it up faster. It's much more based on those kind of attributes and not just killing dudes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing though I was curious about, and I've heard a couple of people talk about, are the perks, can you customize them, or are they standard for everybody? Like, do you have to unlock sprint first and then move on to the next one, or can you actually customize those to where cover is first, then sprint, then grenades, or something like that?
So I was told that they are customizable. I wasn't able to experience it myself, but I was told that you can run your own perks independent on what your other teammates run for a perk setup. The order and other things around those lines still don't know, but but they said it's customizable. We'll see about that. Anyway, though, that's sort of the end for BF4 stuff. Are there any other things, you viewer, that would love to ask about BF4? Hopefully, we can answer some of these questions just from our observations, as well as talking to the DICE developers during this course of time. Feel free to shoot us questions. We'll try to answer them. Moving on, though, let's talk about another exciting piece of news that happened the last 3 weeks, and that's the LevelBF 5v5 Invitational.
That's right. This was what was soaking up all of our time, guys, or at least my time. I know Dashcro had the E3 event, but my time was solely spent on this event, and I gotta say, for it being our first event, and quite a big event it was. We had 32 teams, 16 from North America, 16 from Europe. These were the best active teams that we could get a hold of. Had a cash and prize pool of $3,500 plus. So, I mean, that's nothing to scoff at for BF3, especially in this life cycle, or this period of time in its life cycle. So it was a very exciting tournament. It was a one-day event. We did end up streaming it all on the next day, and be looking forward to those restreams. We'll have links in the description below. Also, you can go to my channel and Dashcro's channel. We will be posting up commentaries, post commentaries, and also free camming, mixing in with the first person point of views throughout the weeks. So definitely come check out our channels. We'll be updating you guys with those matches throughout the entire time. And I think the event went really well. What did you like about it, Dashcro?
Well, I have to say that I like that we didn't get DDoS attacked, and that's pretty cool. I also like the fact that we were able to actually keep a pretty good schedule of it. We didn't have, at least on the North American side, many scheduling issues. Most of the teams showed up. We had very little grievances between the teams. We had very little delays. All in all, I think it all went excellent, especially for our first major event like this, one that lasted almost 7 hours. I think we all did a great job, and I think Brett and Dark Times especially did an amazing job at coordinating it and organizing it and managing all the various volunteers, because we had a big set of volunteers, and I want to thank all the volunteers too, because they made it possible as well. Brett, what do you think went right, and what do you think went wrong?
Well, I gotta say, sponsors were amazing. First of all, I'm gonna touch on that real quick. We were sponsored by End of Reality servers. They provided us with 4 servers. Nobody dropped from a single server. All day they worked perfectly throughout Saturday and Sunday for the finals and grand finals, the whole event. It was amazing. So definitely go check out those guys. All the sponsor links will be in the description below. Go check them out. Great servers. I would recommend them to anybody. We were sponsored by Astros, provided us 5 sets of A40s. I mean, awesome headsets. Awesome headsets. And then we were also sponsored by Mad Cats, who provided us with the Strike 7 keyboards and mice. So amazing! I mean, those are like $300 keyboards. So this is not small stuff to scoff at. And then also, I would like to thank, and this is not well known, but I do think it needs to be mentioned. People out there, the event coordinators, myself, Dasgro, and a lot of the level crew included, donated for the cash. So we actually donated our own money to help for the cash prize, and we had over $1,000, I believe, in cash donated. So this is not proof that we're wanting competitive gaming for Battlefield to come out. I don't know what is, but yeah. So thank everybody who helped out. Thank our sponsors. They were amazing. Thanks to all of the staff, like you said before. And then to go on to what I liked about the tournament, I liked everything. I honestly, I was glad that it was over, just because it's been such a worry on me here in these last month or so. I've just been like racking my head because I've just been so nervous. But it went really well. I thought everybody did a great job. I had a few hiccups on my end with the streams. I do apologize to the teams that I did cast, because you guys really didn't have any exposure like I wanted you to. But I definitely think that the matches that were the most interesting got cast. I know that Dynasty and Shot Docs was a really good one. So, and that one, guys, is up on our channels actually right now. So if you want to go check that out, do so. And then also the Exertus versus Nexus match, which should be up here pretty soon. That was a pretty intense matchup, to say the least, too. So be looking for those. But yeah, tournament went well. I liked everything about it. There were small little nuances that I was a little bit disappointed at that we can work on. But, for the most part, for our first tournament, it was kick-ass. And, guys, be looking for more of these. All right, we are going to be doing more of these. And that's going to segue right into our next topic. Let's talk about the 2v2 chopper event.
Yes, we're doing another event in just a little over a month from now. It's 2v2 choppers, just like we did a few months ago. And it's going to be a low flying cup, and so it's going to be the gunner can only use a TV missile, and the pilot can only use his rockets, and you can't fly above the highest building in the given map. I'm really looking forward to this. I thought it really exciting. To me, this is where the free cam really shines, is these awesome 2v2 chopper battles. I'm really psyched about it, and I think what we're going to have is both a North American 2v2 chopper and a European 2v2 chopper event, perhaps all on the same day. We'll see. But we're gonna do 2 separate events, all one big exciting endeavor regardless.
Yeah, no doubt. And guys, be looking out for more information on that. We will have the actual signups are going to be starting here, I would say, here in the next week, maybe 2 weeks. So definitely be looking out for that. We will be updating you guys as soon as we know the information. So if you're pilots, you think that you have the best of the best and you can take it, definitely be looking out for more information on this. And next, let's talk about, we are going to be having future events. I touched on this a little bit before, but we're planning on having a couple more BF3 events, and then we're also planning to hit BF4 hard. I mean, we are going to go full throttle BF4. You guys are not going to recognize the competitive scene in BF4 compared to BF3. It's going to be 2 different instances. I mean, we've got events that we're planning on lining up throughout the whole entire first 6 months for BF4, so it should be pretty exciting, and watch out for that. And then, so now that we got that done and over with, let's talk about War XS.
Yes, War Access League, it has a bunch of different events. First, the 12v12 finals took place Illusion was able to beat Shot Docs, so Illusion is the winner of the 12v12 league for War Access League. But 8v8 is still going strong. It's in the semis right now. Well, actually, no. The finals are about to happen. We have Shot Docs versus Extreme Gaming going for the championship. That's first, second place. We have the bronze match as well, which is Illusion versus Ass Kickers. So Illusion is not going to be able to get first place in the 8v8, but they may get third or fourth. We also have 5v5 league as well for War Access League. It's in the semifinals, Extreme Gaming versus Zero Talent, and then Exertus versus Ass Kickers again. So 5v5, that's doing pretty well. And then finally, they also have a 44 league. And it's semis as well in this respect as well. And it's No Mercy versus Technical Difficulties, and then Extreme Gaming versus Nexo Gaming. A lot of different leagues all coming to a close, but remember, CEVO is still actually in full force, which is another league completely separate from War Access League. It's 5v5, it's continuing its regular season. We haven't seen any real upsets, it's just pacing along, but that's sort of what's going on the PC end. But what about on the PS3 end, Brett?
Yeah, so actually last Saturday, and it's unfortunate that we weren't able to announce this earlier, there was a PS3 World Nations tournament. This was going to be Team USA versus Finland. We won't spoil what the results were for that, I think, just yet, because you can actually go and check out their videos on their website, which will be posted down below. Really cool website, go check it out. I believe they're supposed to be holding at least one more season, maybe. I'm not really sure, but definitely go check them out. They've done some really awesome stuff. Very, very professional. These guys are sticking it out like us, trying to keep a comp scene alive for BF3. And I will say this: I saw part of the stream with USA versus Finland, and it was awesome matches. Awesome matches. I highly encourage you guys to go check that out.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, and so you can check out the links below for World Nations Tournament. Hopefully they'll have another tournament before Battlefield 4, we'll see. And remember, guys, if you have any esports news that we didn't mention that you think is worth mentioning, please send them to us at battlefieldreplays@gmail.com and let us know. If you have any montages that are based on competitive play, send it to us again at battlefieldreplays@gmail.com. And then if you have any full POVs, full perspectives of you and your teams playing a scrim or in a match, any of the leagues we mentioned or didn't mention, send it our way as well. Just upload it on YouTube, put it on listed. It needs to be 720p or higher. And then for the multi-POV matches, we need at least 3 perspectives from any of the players playing. Again, send it to battlefieldreplays@gmail.com. Brett, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/AaronTVH1. That's AARONTVH1. And then you can also find me on my Twitch channel. I do stream probably about, I don't know, twice a week. And then also I do show matches or tournaments on the weekends when we have them. And that's going to be twitch.tv/BrettFX. You can look that up, and I'll be, follow me, all that kind of good stuff, and it'll notify you when we go live with something awesome. And Daskro, how about you? How can they find you?
YouTube.com/Daskro, Twitch TV/Daskro, Twitter Daskro. It's all Daskro. That's what it is.
It's all Daskro.
It is all Daskro. But guys, seriously, be sure to subscribe to Brett's channel, AaronTVH1 on YouTube. I want to see all these various esports supporters on YouTube to grow their channels and to continue their efforts, because we need it. And if you're interested in doing any of this, if you're interested in doing any commentary or even montages of competitive matches, let us know. Send us an email at battlefieldreplays@gmail.com, and you can get involved too. This is not some exclusive club. We're willing to take any volunteers that are willing to do this, because Brett and I are volunteers in this as well, and we want this to grow.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Brett, any closing thoughts?
No, man. I think we're good.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you later.